Good morning. Today I am going to discuss about what happened in Cavite Mutiny. Brief uprising of 200 Filipino troops and workers at the Cavite Arsenal, which became the excuse for Spanish repression of the embryonic Philippine nationalist movement. Ironically, the harsh reaction of the Spanish authorities served ultimately to promote the nationalist cause. The Spanish version of Cavite Mutiny of 1872 is narrated by Jose Montero y Vidal. His account anchored on the thesis that the fateful event of the 20th of January 1872 happens due to the concerted effort of disgruntled native soldiers and laborers of Cavite Arsenal, who willfully revolted to overthrow the Spanish rule and thus guilty of rebellion and sedition. By such acts, the execution of prominent critics of the Spaniards and friars by the Spanish officials are justified, and the sentence of by the time when the revolt of 1872 happened. The account of Governor General Rafael Izquierdo y Gutierrez insisted that the mutiny is stimulated and prepared by the native clergy, mestizos, and lawyers as a signal of objection against the injustice of the government, such as not paying provinces for tobacco crops, pay tribute, and rendering of forced labor. Another evidence of Spanish accounts of Trinidad Pardo de Tavera. The event is just a simple mutiny since up to that time, the Filipinos have no intention of separation from Spain but only secure materials and education. According to Edmund Plauchut, he traced the immediate cause to an authoritative order from the Governor Izquierdo exacting personal taxes from the Filipino laborers in the engineering and artillery corps in the Cavite Arsenal, and requiring them to perform forced labor like ordinary subjects. Filipino accounts of the events of 1872. Two major events happened in 1872. First was the 1872 Cavite Mutiny, and the other was the martyrdom of the three martyr priests in the persons of Fathers Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora or the Gumburza. According to Dr. Tavera, in his point of view, the incident was a mere mutiny by the native Filipino soldiers and laborers of the Cavite Arsenal who turned out to be dissatisfied with the abolition of their privileges. Tavera blamed Governor Izquierdo's cold-blooded policies, including the rights of native army members of the arsenal and the prohibition of the funding of School of Arts and Trades for the Filipinos. On January 20, 1872, about 200 men composed of soldiers, laborers at the arsenal, and residents of Cavite, headed by Sergeant Lamadrid, rose in arms and assassinated the commanding officer and Spanish officers inside. The news about the mutiny reached authorities in Manila, and General Izquierdo immediately ordered the reinforcement of Spanish troops in Cavite. After 2 days, the mutiny was officially declared subdued. Convicted educated men who participated in the mutiny were sentenced life imprisonment, while members of the native clergy headed by the Gumburza were tried and executed by garrote. Gumburza priests fought for the rights of their fellow native priests against Spanish abuses, and that's the reason why they were executed on 17th of February 1872 due to the false accusations of treason and sedition or mastermind, taking a supposed active role in the Cavite Mutiny. The Gumburza's public execution by garrote was profusely witnessed by a 10-year-old Jose Rizal, who eventually dedicated his second novel, El Filibusterismo, to the memory of the priest whose martyrdom led to the emergence of Philippine nationalism in 19th century.